Heart of the jungle, there lived a lion named Max. Now, Max wasn't like the lions you usually hear about. He wasn't bold, brave, or fearless. In fact, Max had a little secret. You see, Max was afraid of heights. We see Max sitting under a big tree, nervously holding a small ball, while his friends run and play around him. His friends, Zoe the zebra, Tim the monkey, and Mia the cheetah, were all full of energy. They loved exploring, racing, and climbing trees. But Max always stayed on the ground, smiling nervously and hoping no one would notice his reluctance to join in. One bright morning, the friends gathered for their daily fun. Zoe trotted up to Max with a big grin on her face. "Let's race to the top of the tallest tree," she said, her hooves tapping the ground with excitement. Zoe points at a massive tree in the distance, while Max's eyes widen in fear. Max swallowed hard. The tallest tree? His paws began to sweat, but he didn't want to let his friends down. So with a shaky smile, he agreed. Sure," he muttered. And with that, the race began. Mia, the fastest of them all, sped off like a bolt of lightning. Tim swung from branch to branch, cackling as he moved ahead. Zoe, with her long legs, galloped ahead, laughing. Max tries to keep up, but quickly falls behind as his friends charge toward the tree. But Max, well, he wasn't as quick to start. His heart pounded in his chest, not from the running, but from the thought of climbing that towering tree. "I can't do this," he whispered to himself, already feeling defeated. When they reached the base of the giant tree, Zoe and the others had already started climbing. But Max stopped. He couldn't take a single step. His paws shook as he stared up at the tall branches above him. Max looks down, sitting on the ground, clearly overwhelmed by fear. You see, Max had never told his friends, but he was absolutely terrified of heights. As he sat there, feeling smaller than ever, his friends noticed something was wrong. Zoe trotted back down and stood beside him. "Max, are you okay?" she asked softly. Max didn't want to admit it, but he couldn't hide his fear anymore. I, I'm scared of heights," he finally confessed. Zoe, Tim, and Mia gather around him, their expressions softening with understanding. To Max's surprise, his friends didn't laugh. They didn't tease him or call him a coward. Instead, they shared their own fears. Tim scratches his head with a sheepish grin. "I'm scared of the dark," Tim said quietly. Mia nods. "And I'm afraid of swimming," Mia added. Max blinked in surprise. His brave friends had fears too? He never would have guessed. Zoe smiled at him warmly. "Everyone's afraid of something, Max. It's okay. But you don't have to let it stop you." Max looks at the tree, his heart racing, but with a newfound determination in his eyes. With a deep breath, Max stood up. His friends encouraged him as he slowly placed one paw on the tree trunk, then another, and another. He was shaky, but he kept going. Max climbs the tree slowly, with his friends cheering him on. "You've got this, Max!" his friends shouted from below. Max's paws gripped tightly as he climbed higher and higher. His heart raced, but this time, it wasn't just from fear. It was from excitement. Before he knew it, he had reached the top of the tree. Max looks out from the top of the tree, a proud and joyful expression on his face. He gazed out over the jungle, feeling something he had never felt before. He wasn't just Max the lion anymore. He was Max, the lion who faced his fear. As they all sat together at the top of the tree, the friends shared more stories of their fears and laughed together. Max felt a weight lift off his shoulders. He wasn't alone. His friends had fears just like him, and that was okay. Tim giggles, swinging his tail. "I still don't like the dark," Tim said with a chuckle. Mia grins. "And water still gives me the shivers," Mia added. Max laughs along, feeling a warmth in his heart. And Max, well, he laughed too. "I guess we're all a little scared of something, but that doesn't mean we can't be brave." As the sun began to set, casting a golden light over the jungle, Max realized something important. Being brave didn't mean you weren't afraid. It meant facing your fears, even when they seemed bigger than you. Max and his friends climb down from the tree, smiling and chatting as the day comes to an end. And so, Max learned that true courage wasn't about being fearless.